When it comes to social media, why do you think people are so scared to speak up? Do you think, like you were saying before we got on, right? Your post this morning that went viral from the terrorist attack, all the anti-Semitism that's on there, right? As an example.
Yeah.
That in of itself, do you think that prevents people from actually doing any kind of Israel advocacy? Not prevent people to get like demoralized.
It's an interesting question. So I actually had a conversation with Arsen Ostrovsky the other day, who is probably the top Israel, advocacy expert on Twitter. And I said to him, I'm like, dude, I have so much respect for you because, like, how do you not get tired? Like, all the trolls, and so not everyone's cut out for this. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not cut out for it. A lot of times I take this stuff really personally. I get some really sick stuff on Twitter. So I use the block and report button a lot. But it definitely is demoralizing. It definitely is not easy. But at the end of the day, here's the kicker. If you use social media, by the way, this applies to business and to advocacy. If you use social media as a broadcast platform to just like post things and leave, then you're not going to have success. But if you're doing this right, when it comes to Israel advocacy, you're sharing things, but you're also engaging with, the people out there. But, and this is so crucial, you have to know who you're engaging with. No point in engaging with someone who's just a blatant Nazi or like a blatant Jew hater. Like, you're not going to convince them. Don't even waste your time. And you don't need to convince the people that are already on your side, because then you're preaching to the choir. They're the people in the middle that are on the fence. Those are the people that are listening.
I would say they're on the fence. They're largely ignorant, and they'll just believe whatever they read as face value.
Right. I'm saying, but you can educate them. You can give them actual facts, because I don't know of a single conflict in the history of the world where there was so much historical fabrications and lies. But I'm not talking about opinions here. Okay, we can have opinions on the conflict. If you're going to tell me that an Arab-Palestinian state ever existed in the history of the world, you're just blatantly lying. That never existed. And if you think it existed, kindly tell me when it was established and who the prime minister was, what the currency was, what the national anthem was. It did not exist. So the fact that people are saying Israel occupied an Arab-Palestinian land is just a blatant lie. And so, you can try to convince these people that believe in lies or Israel's an apartheid state. The Muslim citizens of this country have more free rights in Israel than they have in any other country, any other Muslim country in this entire region. So if you're going to call Israel an apartheid state, you're not listening. And I'm not going to convince you otherwise. But there are people who hear this apartheid crap, and if you show them the actual facts, presumably, hopefully, they will listen. Those are the people you need to target.
Do you think facts work better than emotional? I feel like emotional appeal works better than facts, particularly when it comes to, let's say, the as you call it, people in the middle on the fence, the ignorant.
It's an interesting question, because I think it should be a combination of both.
Right? I think that's why Israel doesn't do so well. It's because we try to use facts and logic, and that's not, this. Humans don't respond to that. Humans respond to emotions, right? Facebook said the most engaged posts are ones that get people angry. Ironically, right? Like right. That goes for all social media, but they were looking at like what responses had the hardest engagement with it. Maybe facts. I'm not saying we should avoid facts a lot. We don't have to. Facts are on our side. Jews are the indigenous people of the land of Israel for thousands of years. But do you think more of emotional appeal? Like, kind of, shouldn't we spit it back in a sense, like judo it and been like, actually, we've been here for thousands of years. Here's proof. You're actually, you're trying to steal my land. I'm indigenous. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed to, oh, here are the facts. According to international law, Israel, great, international law is on our side too. But it does. People don't care because there isn't that emotional appeal. There isn't a sense of justice, right? People are looking for, I want to stand on the right side of history. I want to stand with justice. And people don't really care for facts and logic. I think that has to be like 5% of the population.
Right. So I think it's probably a combination of both. In other words, you can't just go with emotion and not, talk about facts, because facts are facts and they're important. Having said that, there's a way to communicate facts, and that's with emotion. So it has to be a combination of both, I think.